You are ready to quit playing defense against aging. We're not waiting for a diagnosis. We are not just hoping to slow the decline. We are going on offense right now, today, to reclaim the strength, the clarity, and the independence you deserve. This is not a philosophy. This is a radical, evidence-based strategy built on metabolic precision and biomechanical integrity. We are shifting from managing decline to proactively renovating your biological framework. I'm a physician, but when I talk to you about health and longevity, I'm speaking as someone who writes the blueprint for fitness, someone who lives this commitment to vitality every single day. Forget the idea that your future involves a steady march toward chronic disease, expensive medication, or invasive procedures. That narrative is tired, and frankly, it is based on outdated information and a fundamentally passive approach to human physiology. We possess the tools to significantly alter the trajectory of aging, starting with the immediate control you exert over your body's daily inputs and outputs. The truth is, your body in your 60s, 70s, and beyond is primed for a powerful renovation, provided you stop sabotaging the foundation with small, daily errors that accumulate into systemic failure. We must understand the true enemy. The single biggest threat to your longevity is not a sudden acute event like a heart attack, though cardiovascular health is paramount. It's the insidious, slow loss of muscle mass known as sarcopenia, compounded by chronic systemic inflammation. This relationship is critical. Sarcopenia is not merely weakness, it is a metabolic catastrophe. Muscle tissue is your body's primary glucose sink and metabolic engine. When you lose muscle, you lose your ability to regulate blood sugar efficiently, dramatically increasing your risk of type 2 diabetes, cognitive decline, and catastrophic falls. That pain in your knees, that loss of energy by 3 p.m., that fuzziness when you try to recall a name, it's all interconnected. It's a vicious cycle where inflammation drives muscle loss, anabolic resistance, and muscle loss makes every movement harder, which means you move less, generating even more inflammation and further metabolic dysfunction. We call this process inflammaging. Your body becomes less efficient at repairing itself, and the repair signals, like the protein synthesis response to leucine, become muted. We are breaking that cycle today. We start with two weapons: precision nutrition tailored for anabolic resistance and targeted movement designed for functional strength and stability. The Great Energy Heist: why your breakfast is stealing your legs and your future. Let's talk about glucose, insulin, and energy metabolism. You wake up with the best intentions, but what you put in your mouth before 10 a.m. determines whether your body spends the day repairing tissue or fighting a severe blood sugar fire. For the older adult, this metabolic sensitivity is heightened. Most people over 60 eat a breakfast designed for a 12-year-old sprinter: high carb, low protein, zero sustained fuel. This is a critical error, often made by those trying to follow outdated heart-healthy advice that prioritized grains over necessary protein. Think about it. A bowl of commercial cereal, maybe a slice of white toast with jam, or perhaps that supposedly healthy, low-fat, high-sugar muffin. This is not food designed for cellular repair or sustained cognition. This is an invitation to inflammation. It hits your system, spikes your glucose levels, often to 150 micronars DL or higher, forces a massive exhausting insulin release, and then drops you off a steep metabolic cliff around late morning, leaving you tired, craving sugar, and mentally sluggish. When that glucose crashes, your energy goes, your mood dips, and critically, your body has received zero building material for the essential muscle maintenance it needs to perform. Your legs cannot strengthen, your core cannot stabilize, and your immune system cannot fully optimize itself if you do not provide the raw materials, specifically, a massive influx of quality amino acids at the beginning of your day. If you want a fruit breakfast that strengthens your legs in 24 hours, you need protein, and you need it fast, targeting the critical 30-gram threshold. This quantity is necessary to overcome the anabolic resistance seen in older muscles and to effectively signal the activation of the mTOR pathway, the cellular switch that initiates muscle protein synthesis, MPS. Forget the myth that you can only absorb 20 grams of protein at a meal. We need to maximize our daily intake, especially the leucine content, which is the immediate ignition switch for muscle synthesis. You should aim for a minimum of 2.5 to 3 grams of leucine in that first meal, which almost always requires consuming 30+ grams of high-quality protein. Seriously, ditch the white bread, the low-fat, high-sugar yogurt, and the sweetened fruit juice. We are swapping that weak inflammatory foundation for strength-building fuel that provides true metabolic stability for 8 hours or more. Here's the fast fix, focusing on 7 cheap high-protein foods. You should rotate through your mornings to ensure you hit that anabolic trigger. 1. Eggs, the anabolic gold standard. Whole eggs, cooked any way, deliver highly bioavailable protein and essential fats, choline for brain health. 2 or 3 is the bare minimum, but 4 large eggs easily get you over 25 grams of protein. They are efficient and contain all essential amino acids. Preparation. Tip: hard-boil a dozen every Sunday for rapid consumption during the week. 2. Cottage cheese or Greek yogurt, plain, full-fat, high in casein and whey, offering both slow-releasing and fast-acting fuel. A cup of full-fat plain cottage cheese provides approximately 28-30 grams of protein. Mix it with a few walnuts, healthy fats, or a sprinkle of cinnamon, not sugary fruit preserves. 3. Lentils beans, savory stability? Yes, for breakfast. A small bowl of leftover chili, a black bean salad, or even refried beans without lard delivers significant fiber, resistant starch, and plant protein that stabilizes blood sugar all morning. Rationale: the fiber helps mitigate any potential glucose spike from accompanying carbs. 4. Tofu, edamame, plant powerhouse. Fast scrambles with turmeric or steamed pods provide an extremely efficient, low-calorie protein source. Tofu is highly versatile for savory morning dishes. 5. Canned fish, sardines, mackerel, wild salmon, loaded with omega-3s, EPA, DHA, to fight chronic inflammation and ample protein to build muscle. It might sound unusual, but it's practical, effective, and requires zero cooking. Benefit: omega-3s work synergistically with strength training to enhance muscle protein synthesis signaling. 6. Whey isolate or pea hemp protein powder, the rapid deploy. Mix into water or coffee immediately upon waking. This gets protein into your bloodstream fast, triggering muscle repair and setting the anabolic tone before you even prepare your solid food meal. Ensure your scoop delivers at least 25 grams of protein. 7. Pork loin, chicken breast, high-quality leftovers. Don't be afraid of savory leftovers. Protein is protein. Cold slices of roast chicken or turkey are highly satisfying and eliminate the need for rushed morning cooking. And while we're talking about morning rituals, let's audit your coffee. If you start your day with one of the 4 worst coffees, anything loaded with syrups, artificial flavored creams, excessive processed sugar, or made from low-quality mold-prone beans, you are intentionally spiking inflammation and setting up an energy crash. These often contain hundreds of empty calories and paralyze your body's natural fat-burning mechanisms. Instead, add this to coffee for sustained cognitive lift and joint support. A scoop of unflavored collagen powder or a teaspoon of MCT oil. Collagen, type 1 and 3, supports joint health, tendon elasticity, and gut lining integrity. MCT oil provides stable ketone energy via C8 or caprylic acid that keeps your brain sharp and prevents that mid-morning glucose collapse. It's a simple swap that rewires your whole day's metabolism towards stability and fat utilization. And speaking of simple swaps, many people obsess over expensive supplements like bone broth for collagen. While good, forget bone broth. As your primary muscle builder, it's mostly gelatin, which is excellent for skin, hair, and gut tissue, but the amino acid profile is incomplete and deficient in key components like leucine and tryptophan, required for aggressive muscle synthesis. You still need direct, complete protein sources like eggs, whey, or quality meat to truly halt sarcopenia. Bone broth is supportive, not foundational. Protecting your vision and your sleep. The nighttime reset and metabolic cleanup. Our goal is comprehensive vitality, and that includes protecting your senses and optimizing the deep repair cycles of the night. Vision often declines rapidly after 60, yet the protective measures are incredibly simple and often involve food you already enjoy. You must fight oxidative damage to the retina, which is bombarded by light exposure daily. The crucial micronutrients are lutein and zeaxanthin. Cataracts and macular degeneration? Eat this daily. Dark, leafy greens like kale, spinach, and collard greens. These pigments filter harmful blue light. Cook them lightly with healthy fats like olive oil, butter, or avocado oil for optimal bioavailability, as these carotenoids are fat-soluble. It is that straightforward. Supplementation can help, but food absorption is superior. But let's talk about a specific nighttime ritual that can assist in cellular repair, not just for the eyes, but for the brain: the pre-sleep snack. Many people skip eating late, which is generally smart, allowing for 12-14 hours of daily fasting. However, if you struggle with blood sugar instability, restless legs, which can be electrolyte or blood sugar related, or waking up hungry and spiking cortisol, a tiny targeted snack can work wonders to maintain stability until morning. I recommend a small portion of par-specific fruit before bed to repair your eyes and stabilize blood sugar. Specifically, a handful of deeply pigmented berries. Think wild blueberries, raspberries, or blackberries. They are low on the glycemic index, unlike grapes or bananas, and packed with anthocyanins, powerful polyphenolic antioxidants that fight the free radical damage accrued throughout the day, including in the retina and neuronal tissue. The small amount of natural sugar provides just enough substrate to signal the body everything is stable without spiking insulin. The key to maximizing this repair window, however, is respecting your sleep hygiene, the period when the glymphatic system clears metabolic waste from your brain. That means absolutely no caffeine after 2 p.m. period. Caffeine has a half-life of 5 to 6 hours. A 3 p.m. cup is still 50% active in your system at 8 p.m. It doesn't just prevent you from falling asleep, it fragments your deep slow-wave NREM3 and REM sleep, the phases where your brain clears out amyloid beta plaques and metabolic waste, and your body truly repairs. Fragmented sleep is a direct, measurable precursor to cognitive decline, weakened immunity, and chronic pain sensitivity. Optimize the environment: cool, dark, and silent. And while we are optimizing habits, remember that simplicity extends to your kitchen storage. The way you handle food affects its nutritional value and safety. For example, do not refrigerate these 9 foods. If you want to preserve their flavor, textural integrity, and beneficial compounds. 1. Tomatoes. They lose texture and taste due to enzymatic breakdown in cold. 2. Avocados. Cold halts the ripening process. 3. Onions and garlic. Cold causes them to soften and often sprout quickly. 4. Potatoes. Refrigeration converts their starch to sugar, ruining the texture. 5. Bread. It stales far faster in the fridge due to starch crystallization. 6. Honey. It crystallizes into unusable clumps. 7. Basil. It wilts rapidly and absorbs surrounding odors. 8. Coffee, beans, grounds. Temperature fluctuations destroy their volatile oils and flavor profile. 9. Olive oil. It becomes cloudy, viscous, and difficult to pour. Keep them cool, dark, and dry, not freezing in the chiller. Nutritional density and flavor preservation are part of the longevity strategy. The mobility protocol. 6. Japanese movements better than unfocused walking. Now we address the movement crisis, the physical manifestation of sarcopenia and stiffness. If you can't get up off the floor unassisted, or if climbing a flight of stairs feels like scaling a mountain, you have lost essential functional fitness. This is a direct measure of your independence. Most people think, I walk every day, I'm fine. Walking is maintenance, it's not building. It is excellent for cardiovascular health, but it does not provide the eccentric loading or range of motion demands necessary to reverse the decay in your hips, core, and glutes. the powerful posterior chain muscles that stabilize your entire structure and prevent forward-leaning, shuffling gait. We are implementing a safe, low-impact, high-reward protocol, Durag's Japanese movements. Designed for longevity, balance, and core strength. These movements are based on practical, everyday necessity and fall prevention, drawing inspiration from principles of longevity, focused physical therapy, not aggressive bodybuilding. They are surgeon-approved because they target the specific intrinsic stability necessary to prevent falls and protect load-bearing joints, knees, hips, lower back, making them ideal for post-rehabilitation or general joint preservation. You only need 10 minutes. Consistency beats intensity every time. Do this routine daily, preferably in the morning, to cement movement patterns and activate your nervous system for the day ahead. The 10-minute longevity protocol, grounding and stability, blueprint. Safety first. Listen to your body. Stop immediately if you feel sharp or stabbing pain. This routine is adaptable. Use a sturdy chair or countertop for support if needed. Consult your physician if you have underlying medical conditions, are taking new medications, or have had recent surgery, especially spine or hip procedures. The warm-up, 1 minute, deep breathing and gentle hips. 1. Diaphragmatic focus, core engagement. Stand tall, feet shoulder-width apart. Place one hand on your upper chest and one firmly on your belly. Breathe deeply through your nose for a slow count of 4, aiming explicitly to push the lower hand out, diaphragmatic. Breathing. Exhale slowly through pursed lips for a count of 6. This engages your deep core stabilizers, transversus abdominis, and shifts your nervous system from stress, sympathetic, to rest, or repair, parasympathetic. Repeat 6 cycles. 2. Gentle hip circles, hula hoop style. Stand straight. Put your hands on your hips and gently trace a wide, controlled circle with your pelvis. 30 seconds clockwise, 30 seconds counterclockwise. Keep the movement fluid and small, loosening the deep hip rotators without stressing the lumbar spine. Goal: prepare the hip capsule for loading. The 6 foundational movements, 8 minutes. Movement 1, the functional seat, chair, stand, sit. The strength base, 2 minutes. Technique: use a sturdy chair or bench. Start seated, spine naturally straight. Cross your arms over your chest or extend them forward for counterbalance. Hinge slightly forward at the hips, keeping your chest lifted, avoiding spinal rounding, and push powerfully through your entire foot, especially the heels, to stand up without using your hands. Crucially, control the descent back down, making sure you don't just flop onto the chair. Aim for a slow, controlled negative phase, the sit-down, which builds eccentric strength crucial for joint protection. Do feel purpose. You should feel activation primarily in your glutes and quads. This movement directly trains the foundational strength required for using the toilet, getting out of a low car, and climbing stairs without reliance on handrails. Progression. Start with 10 strict repetitions. As you get stronger, lower the height of the chair. Use a stack of pillows removed one by one, or slow down the count. 3 seconds up, 3 seconds pause, 3 seconds down. Movement 2. The stork test adaptation, single leg balance. The stability anchor, 2 minutes. Technique. Stand near a wall or sturdy countertop for immediate fingertip support. Shift your weight fully onto your left foot, bending the right knee slightly. Lift the right foot a few inches off the ground. Hold this position, trying to keep your hips level and gaze fixed forward on a distant spot. Do not let your ankle wobble uncontrollably. This is a sign your stabilizing muscles are weak. If you need the wall, use only one fingertip for minor tactile feedback. Common mistake: letting the upper body lean too far away from the lifted leg, the cheating lean. Try to keep your spine strictly vertical. Goal: hold for 30-60 seconds per leg. Improving this skill directly reduces your fall risk by engaging the deep intrinsic stabilizers of your ankle, knee, and hip, gluteus medius, which are paramount for dynamic walking stability. Movement 3. The wall slide, modified vertical squat, knee preservation endurance, 1 minute. Technique. Stand with your back flat against a wall, heels about 6 inches away from the wall. Gently slide down the wall until your knees are bent about 30 degrees. Very shallow, comfortable squat position. Do not go past 90 degrees. Press your entire spine and hips firmly into the wall. Hold for 30 seconds. Why it works. This is an isometric hold that builds quadricep endurance and stability without the damaging shear force or joint compression of a deep free squat. It is extremely effective for stabilizing the patella, kneecap tracking. Focus. Maintain an open chest. Your breathing should remain slow and steady, never holding your breath. Movement. 4. Controlled marching. High knee raises. Hip flexor and core power. 1 minute. Technique. Stand tall. Slowly and deliberately raise your right knee toward your chest, aiming to get the thigh parallel to the floor, if possible. Pause briefly at the top, feeling the stretch in the opposite hip flexor and core engagement, then lower slowly with control. Alternate legs, maintaining strict upright posture, no leaning back. Focus on the control of the negative phase, not the speed. Benefit. This combats the tightening and shortening of hip flexors common from prolonged sitting, which contributes to low back pain and the characteristic shuffling gait seen in old age. It rebuilds the necessary range of motion and core stability for a strong, long stride. Aim for 10 slow repetitions per side. Movement. 5. Calf and ankle pumps, soleus gastrocnemius, gait and circulation improvement, 1 minute. Technique. Stand facing a counter or wall for balance. Slowly raise up onto the balls of your feet, lifting your heels as high as possible. Pause at the peak contraction for 1 second. Slowly lower down over 2 seconds. This trains the calves, gastrocnemius and soleus, which act as the body's second heart, pumping venous blood back up to the heart. Advanced. After 10 heel raises, transition immediately to the standing ankle pump. Shift your weight slightly forward and gently lift your toes up off the ground, engaging the anterior tibialis, front shin muscles. This dual action prevents trip hazards by strengthening the muscles that lift the foot clear of the ground during walking. Dorsiflexion weakness is a major tripping cause. Movement. 6. The Japanese bow, hinge and reach. Posterior chain, health and spine protection, 1 minute. Technique. Stand straight, feet shoulder width apart, hands resting lightly on your hips. Keep a very slight, soft bend in your knees, not locked. Slowly hinge forward at the hips. Do not round your back, pushing your hips back dramatically as if reaching for a chair far behind you. Maintain a flat, neutral spine. Lower your chest only about 30-45 degrees, stopping immediately when you feel a gentle stretch in your hamstrings. Return slowly to standing by squeezing your glutes forward. Purpose. This movement teaches and trains you to lift objects safely using your powerful glutes and hamstrings, the posterior chain, protecting your vulnerable lumbar spine from the injurious forces of bending and rounding. It is a critical, functional pattern. Cool down, 1 minute, posture check and shoulder rolls. Stand tall. Roll your shoulders up toward your ears, back and then down 5 times, emphasizing pulling your shoulder blades together slightly to open the chest. Hold your head high, imagining a string pulling you upward from the crown of your head, aligning your cervical spine. Breathe deeply and slowly. You are done. This 10-minute investment yields massive returns in functional independence. The cognitive threat, auditing your meds and metabolism. I must address a critical area of longevity that often goes overlooked, the silent systemic damage to your cognitive function. While we can use diet to feed the brain, remembering those protective berries and omega-3s, we must also be extremely aware of external systemic factors that cause confusion and memory loss that is not simply due to age. Specifically, if you are over 65 and feeling a persistent cognitive fog, or if your memory has suddenly worsened, it is imperative to have a frank conversation with your physician about your current prescriptions. While I cannot give specific medical advice or mention exact pharmaceutical names, I can tell you that certain common medications, particularly those used widely for sleep, anxiety, bladder control, overactive bladder, allergies, H1 blockers, and even some muscle relaxants, have strong anticholinergic properties. Medications and dementia risk. are directly linked in significant long-term research. These drugs interfere with acetylcholine, the brain's primary chemical messaging system for memory, learning, and attention. This interference leads to immediate short-term confusion and disorientation, and potentially long-term neurocognitive impairment. This risk is exponentially increased in older adults who are often taking 5, 6, or 7 different medications, polypharmacy. I am not telling you to stop any medication ever. I'm telling you to take control of the conversation. Ask your doctor for an annual medication review. Ask them this single proactive question. Are there any alternatives to my current prescription that would have a lower risk of anticholinergic or cognitive side effects, especially given my age and metabolic profile? This single question is proactive medicine. It is you taking control of your clarity and safeguarding your brain function. We have established that strength, movement, and sharp thinking are inextricably intertwined. When you eliminate the massive glucose spikes through precise nutrition, you reduce the inflammatory burden on your joints and your delicate brain tissue. When you move with purpose, like the 6 movements, you generate neurochemical compounds like brain-derived neurotrophic factor, BDNF, which signal to your muscles and your neurons that they must remain functional and robust. Movement is medicine for the mind, too. Think about the contrast. You can choose the passive path of expensive specialists, endless scans, and chronic dependency, or you can choose the path of radical autonomy, built on cheap, precise food, smart daily habits, and 10 minutes of targeted functional movement every day. The secret to aging with independence is not about being lucky or having perfect genetics. It is about being deliberate, consistent, and proactive in the execution of these fundamental principles. Your mission for today: implement the offense. We are not aiming for perfection. We are aiming for immediate, tangible, and measurable progress that you can feel within 48 hours. Today, I challenge you to make 2 critical changes that will start shifting your metabolism and restoring your strength and clarity. The nutrition swap, metabolic reversal. Commit to a high-protein, low-sugar breakfast tomorrow morning. Ditch the bread, the sugary yogurt, and the cereal. Choose 3 to 4 eggs or a scoop of high-quality protein powder, whey or pea, mixed with water or coffee, followed by a protein-rich meal. Start strengthening your legs and stabilizing your blood sugar from the inside out. Monitor your energy stability until lunchtime. You will notice a profound difference. The movement commitment, functional independence. Find 10 minutes right now, or the first thing tomorrow morning before coffee, and perform the full Amadiyur. Japanese movements. Longevity protocol. Focus especially on the chair stand dar sit. Movement 1, to rebuild necessary leg power and the single leg balance. Movement 2, to reduce your immediate risk of falls. Feel the specific muscles engage, your glutes, your deep core stabilizers, your ankles. Notice the difference in your perceived stability. You do not need permission, expensive gym memberships, or complex equipment to start living with more strength, less chronic pain, and clearer focus. You just need to act decisively today. Tell me, what is the first nutritional swap you are committing to today? Are you ditching the morning oatmeal for eggs or upgrading your coffee? And what topics should we tackle next? Perhaps the specifics of personalized gut health and immunity after 70, or the crucial blood tests and hormonal checks necessary for maximum longevity. Let me know below.